Welcome back to Dude Where's My D20, where we create iconic fictional characters for you to play in your next tabletop role-playing game. As with all of my builds, I use 5th edition D&D content. I try to avoid using homebrew or unearthed arcana material. Please click the like button below and subscribe so that we can create more content that you enjoy. Today we are going to create one of the most dangerous and exciting characters in the Witcher universe, Geralt of Rivia. Stay tuned until the end of the video to see his final battle rating. First off, he's an exceptional swordmaster. We will also be looking for a way to add his King Witcher senses to this build. Lastly, we will try and add all 5 of his magical signs. The first sign is the Yard sign, which is a telekinetic wave that knocks back your enemies. Next is the Axii sign, which is a charm that can potentially turn your enemies into allies for a short period of time. Next is the Igni sign, which is a flow of fire that can light up and damage your opponents. Fourth is the Quen sign, which is a magic shield that prevents damage over a short period of time. The last sign is the Yrden sign. It is a magical trap that wounds and immobilizes a group of enemies. Witchers are genetically modified humans, so it would be difficult to have Geralt be any other race than variant human. Investigation will be your skill choice. I'm going with Strength and Constitution as our +1 racial bonuses. Folk Hero is a background that will suit Geralt perfectly. Animal Handling and Survival will be our background skill choices. Now we move on to ability scores. I'm going to use the point buy system for this build. We're going to put a 15 for Strength, which actually gets bumped up to a 16 with the +1 racial trait bonus. Dexterity is going to be a 12. Constitution will be 11, but bumped up to 12 with the racial trait bonus. Intelligence will be our dump stat at 8. We're going to use a 12 for Wisdom, and finally a 14 for Charisma. For level 1, we'll start with the Warlock class. Our patron will be the Fiend. This provides you with proficiency in Wisdom and Charisma saving throws. You get Dark One's Blessing, which gives you temporary HP whenever you reduce an enemy's HP to 0. Intimidation and Arcana will be our skill choices. At second level, you pick your Eldritch Invocations. I selected Devil's Sight, allowing you to see up to 120 feet in magical darkness. This is a great match for Geralt's Witcher senses. Our second choice will be Repelling Blast. This will be used in place of the Yard sign. It allows the cantrip Eldritch Blast to push an enemy 10 feet away from you. For level 3, we choose Geralt's Pact Boon, which will be Pact of the Blade. This pact creates a pact melee weapon of your choice that is bonded to you. Since warlocks aren't proficient with martial weapons, this allows you to use a longsword. Our next big decision is choosing an ASI or a feat. I'm choosing Magic Initiate for the wizard spell list at the 4th level. This gives me spells that are similar to Geralt's other signs. For the 2 cantrips, I'm going to go with Firebolt, which would be a good Igni sign, and Friends, which would be an Axii sign. The main reason for the Magic Initiate feat is for the spell shield. This is essentially the closest you can get to the Quen sign. For the 5th level, you get to choose an additional invocation. I picked Mire the Mind. This allows Geralt to cast slow once per long rest. Now that we have all 5 of Geralt's magic signs assigned, we will dip into the fighter class for the rest of your levels. For level 1, we're going to go with Dueling Fighting Style. This gives you +2 to damage rolls when you use a melee weapon with one hand. Second Wind is another class feature that gives you additional HP as a bonus action. You gain Action Surge at Fighter level 2, allowing you to use an additional action on your turn once per short rest. At Fighter level 3, you can choose your Fighter subclass. We're going to go with Cavalier. This is perfect for Geralt and his closest ally, Roach. Boar in a Saddle gives you advantage on saving throws to avoid falling off your mount, and reducing your mount and dismount speed to 5 feet instead of half your speed. I also went with the History skill choice. Another great class feature you gain is Unwavering Mark. Unwavering Mark is great for diversion and can help protect your allies while also dealing damage. For the 4th level, we will increase our strength by 2 with the ASI boost. And for the 5th fighter level, you get an extra attack. For the rest of your fighter class levels, you get the following class features: Wandering Maneuver, Indomitable, Holding the Line, Ferocious Charger, and additional extra attacks. Geralt's battle rating will be judged by 3 categories. Character Accuracy, which compares this build to Geralt's characteristics. Next would be the character's usefulness in encounters. This shows how well this build will hold up in difficult battles. Lastly, the role-playing factor. Do the skills, utility actions, and spells make you feel like Geralt while you adventure with your group. For the accuracy of this build, I believe it hits most of the marks we aim for. Some will say that Geralt should be a ranger, specifically the Monster Slayer Conclave or an Eldritch Knight fighter. But what those classes lack are spells that actually give his magical sign some actual power, and you also get these spells at pretty early levels. The Warlock class provides spells like Burning Hands and Scorching Ray for the Igni sign, Charm Person for the Axii sign, Slow and Magic Circle for Yrden, and Shield for the Quen sign. Additional spells like Dispel Magic and Remove Curse are used by Geralt throughout his adventures. The Cavalier class gives you more actions and features to become a threat in melee to complement all of your signs. This subclass also allows you to make Roach useful in combat, and not just a side note in between counters. Geralt is known as a tough character, and having low constitution and dexterity takes away from his battle prowess. The lack of tracking skills and monster-specific features takes away from Geralt's specialty of hunting down monsters. The lack of crossbow skills made popular in the Witcher games is another negative mark. One of the biggest flaws is the slow progression while leveling up. This is common anytime you multi-class a character. In an encounter, Geralt's high strength allows you to put out solid damage with his sword. While Geralt doesn't have the strongest, most damage dealing spells, they provide enough damage and utility to help you defeat most of his enemies. This build can fill in almost any role your party needs. Geralt will be able to deal damage close up and at range. He has useful removal spells and is able to control the battlefield with unwavering mark and spells like slow. He can even be the face of your party with his high charisma score. Some of the cons would be that he's a little too versatile. He's not great at any one thing, and compared to classes that are full Warlock or full Fighter, he wouldn't put out the same amount of damage. Some other weak points are Geralt's low AC and HP. For the role-playing factor, this build actually gives you a good amount of skills that you are proficient in, such as animal handling, arcana, history, intimidation, investigation, and survival. Unfortunately, there are some skills that you expect Geralt to have, but unfortunately this build does not have. Skills like perception, athletics, nature, and medicine. For Geralt's battle rating, I would rate it 9 out of 10 crowns. In my opinion, I believe this build does Geralt proud. It covers almost everything you would expect from him. Magic signs, sword master, roach rider, and a skilled savant. There are obviously some flaws with the lack of ranger features and being a little bit too squishy. The pros far outweigh the cons with this build. On the screen here is the character sheet of this build at level 10. Now get out there and put this Geralt build to the test. Thank you for watching. Leave a comment below for what character you would like us to create next. Hit that like button and subscribe.